Hey YouTube, what's going on? Chris here. I want to bring you all an update on Litecoin. Right now we're at $55.32. We're down 1.3%. You guys, there's some interesting things going on in the charts right now, and I'm wondering if a pattern's taking place. So I'm going to show you something that I've been looking at. I want to get your guys' opinion on it. I'm excited to hear what you guys will tell me. Got a very busy day today, guys. It's probably going to be the only video that I'm going to be able to get out today. So I'll do the best that I can, but it's important that I do get this out to you, and I just want to see if what I'm looking at here is going to play out, because remember, past results, they're great for information and they can repeat themselves, but it doesn't mean that it always has to happen the same way. So you want to put history on your side and put those odds in your favor, but you also want to realize it doesn't always have to happen like that. So guys, we're going to get into all this. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you enjoy what we do here. Appreciate you being here with me on Saturday, and we're going to dig in here, guys. So first of all, what I want to point out to you first before we get into this, and what we're looking at over here, guys, is a potential falling wedge. So we're going to look to see if this plays out over the next days and weeks to come. Okay, and we're going to get into that a little bit more, but what I want to point out to you here is, take a look at this. So what we're going to do from our Fibonacci here, we're going to take it from these tweezer tops. This is where we saw a major rejection right here. Okay, and this is what I'm going to be looking at, this Litecoin on the 1-day chart. We pulled it down, and now what we are looking at is the reaction that we had. So guys, we were pushed down to this swing low, and the reaction that we had is back up to the 0.786 before we started to reverse and start going back down. Do you see that? Now take a look at exactly where we're at right now. So we're going to pull our fib from the other direction. You guys, we're going to go from our swing low here up to our swing high. And you can see we're directly sitting on that 0.786, or we at least wick down to it. We're up above it a little bit right now. But what I want to point on your radar is maybe this is an area where we are going to start to reverse a little bit at least. And if we do start to reverse, which would be nice, guys, so we would need a bounce off of where we're at right now, come up, and we would need to break through this trend line. If we could get a nice candle close up above that trend line on volume, then maybe we could get a bust out of here or a breakout of a falling wedge. And that would kind of correlate with that 0.786 as well. But the most important thing you want to learn, guys, is with these falling wedges, a lot of times you can break out, and if it's not on a lot of volume, you can actually fall back down. We've seen that a lot with trend lines. So you want to be aware of that. You really want to have the confirmation in the volume. Otherwise, it could be some type of just a busted pattern. You could even be going lower. So that's something you do want to keep an eye out on. But guys, the target of these falling wedges, if we are to get out of here in the next weeks to months to come, we would want to target the back part of this falling wedge right up here. It'd be around $145 overall, would be that type of a breakout. Now, I'm not saying that has to happen, guys, or even the falling wedge would have to play out, because remember, chart patterns, until they're confirmed and you have that true breakout, you can't say definitively what they are until you have confirmation. So that's one of the things you always want to pay attention to. But what we do here, we have our multiple touches, and we also have a lot of chop back and forth in here. We don't have a lot of white space, which is important. Guys, you don't want a lot, which in our case with this screen, it would be a lot of black space in there. What you have is a lot of chop back and forth in here, which is a good thing. Okay, but that's what I'm looking at to see if, you know, maybe this 0.786 could be some type of reversal point to at least come back up here and test the top of this trend line, guys, which would be important. And that would be a nice little relief bounce, maybe to 61, maybe even up to that $70 range, which would be nice if you were, you know, in a position and you're buying around $50 or $55. That'd be a nice little spot. Guys, remember, I'm not saying this has to happen, and what I was just wanting to look at was this cup formation right here. I know some people could look and say, why didn't you pull from up here or even up higher on your Fibonacci? I just wanted to look once we started to get this rounding position here off the reaction drop that we had here. We had a big dump into here, and we had a nice reaction, and tweezer tops are very significant, guys. When you see these, let me zoom in for you just so you can learn some stuff here. So that's 2 days worth of rejection right there. That's why I'm going off that. It's very important to look at that area. That was very strong rejection right there. Okay, you see that? So that's tweezer tops, and then you can also look for tweezer bottoms, but I'm looking at this rounded portion of Litecoin, and that dates all the way back, let's see, to May 5th, 2018, so that's plenty of data right there. But you can see this perfect formation, this rounded formation, and it was basically like we had that inverse head and shoulders. right there, and then we just continued our move to the upside. So now I'm looking to see if we're going to defend this 0.786, and maybe that's an area where we're going to start to reverse. But guys, you have to have confirmation on that. It's so important. And also look at this 0.786. You want to look at the candles. Okay, and right now I don't have any moving averages up. I just strictly wanted to look at price action with you. So what's happening here is we're getting a lot of very tight candles. Here it almost looks like a hammer candle. Remember guys, with a hammer candle, what you want to see is the wick 2 to 3 times as long as what the body is right there. Okay, so that's a hammer candle there, and then this pattern coming out of here almost looked like a harami pattern right there into that hammer, and then we had more indecision with this doji, another real short day candle right here, guys, almost like a spinning top type deal. So a lot of fight and indecision down here, but you can see these wicks where the bulls are defending that area. So we're looking at that and seeing if that is a new support area, and if we can come back up here and try to break out of this upper trend line. Okay, so candle formations are very important at key areas is what you want to see. So we're just waiting to see if we have that reversal. The next thing I wanted to do, we're going to pull the Fibonacci off here, and we're also going to pull off this wedge. Okay, and now what I want to look at is just the moving averages. So we're going to look at the way that the river's forming, guys, the way that it's flowing. We're going to start with our 12 EMA. And that's going to be in orange here, and you can see it's acting as overhead resistance. We finally got out of it, guys, a couple weeks ago right up here, and we made a nice move, but we ended up losing it. It wasn't on a lot of volume, and that's why I'm always trying to emphasize volume. Volume will confirm moves for you. It's so important to look at that. Next thing we're going to look at is our 26 EMA. And guys, with our 26 EMA right here, that's acting as overhead resistance as well now, and it crossed down through the 12, so we have to pay attention to that. So right now in the short term and the intermediate term, the trend obviously is down, and then we'll go to our 50-day moving average. And our 50-day moving average, guys, you can see right here, we closed up above it, and that was a spot, guys. Maybe if Bitcoin wouldn't have crashed, that's where we would have kept moving up right there, but we crashed, and we just got pushed to the downside. Now that's acting as strong overhead resistance. You can see we really, guys, besides that one day there, we haven't been up above it, having nice bullish candle closes up above it since June 10th, 2019. We've been below it. So it's significant, and what happens is price gets more and more comfortable as these trends go on. They grow. They start in a short-term trend, then an intermediate-term trend, and then a longer-term trend, and they just continue to work and flow, just like over here. Do you see how this entire bull market, as we're up above basically this 50 moving average the whole time until we lost it right there, and ever since then we've just been getting pushed to the downside. So that's where I'm saying moving averages, they're so important when you're trending up or when you're trending down. When you're moving sideways, they're not as valuable for you, so you can almost in a way take them off. If you're moving just strictly sideways, they're really for tracking and chasing those trends. And right now, guys, and I don't even have the 200 up right now, but we're below the 200 right now. The trend is down and is pushing on us. So that's what I'm saying. To get back up above all these moving averages out of that wedge, it's going to take serious volume to make it happen. And you know, if Bitcoin has some type of busted pattern with a descending triangle, so a descending triangle busted pattern, and it comes back up and shoots through the top, it can run up to 50-60% is what my book's saying about busted patterns. And that would also carry Litecoin most likely, guys, up to that $10 range, up to that $145 range, where we had this rejection here. Do you see those long wicks? That's a really big telltale sign there, guys. We had this long wick, a lot of rejection, then we had a lot of fight as we were creeping up, and then we saw another spot of rejection right there, and that was it. And then we had a bearish engulfing candle. If you take a look at this, right up in here is a bearish engulfing candle. So when you can spot this stuff, guys, it can help you so much. Even if you're a long-term investor, like I've talked about, you want to know great places to buy, and you want to be aware of great places to sell. So technical analysis is very important, whether you're a day trader, whether you're a long-term investor, whether you're a swing trader. And what I really like to do, guys, what I found is my niche, whatever, is I like short-term trading. So anywhere from like 2 to 10 days is where I feel the most comfortable. You know, I'm not the biggest day trader guy unless I see a big opportunity, something like that. But for the most part, anywhere from that like 2 to 10 days is where I feel the most comfortable. And if something's working for me, then I want to let it ride, and we can turn it into a swing trade. You know, it doesn't always have to be day trading, or it doesn't always have to be long-term investing. If you see good opportunities, then take advantage of those opportunities. You know, that's what I'm trying to do on this channel and bring to you. Next, we're just going to get into a few indicators. We're going to get into these quick, guys. And yet again, guys, it's a blessing to have you here with me on a Saturday. Love having you all around here with me and giving me the feedback down low and telling me what you think about that 0.786. Do you think this is going to be a reversal point? Do you feel like that's going to be that pivot point, or do you feel like we're going to continuously go lower and continue to have lower lows and lower highs? Okay, stock down here, we're at 8.75 and 8.11. Guys, so we're in oversold territory right there, so maybe that's a spot we can get some type of reversal off of. Next one we're going to look at is our relative strength index. With our relative strength index, we're at 30 right now, guys, so we're exactly on that oversold line. So can we go much lower? Yes, we've been down to 8 and 9 before on the one-day relative strength index, so we can definitely go lower, but we are in that oversold territory, so I did want to point that out to you. And then the last one we're going to do here is our MACD. Let's see here. And MACD, guys, we're completely to the downside there. We're trying to get a little more neutral. You can see the white coming in, but we have not closed for the day yet, so we're going to have to see. But we have had that bearish cross to the downside for Litecoin. So a lot of the indicators right now, you got some of those bearish things going on. The trend's down. We're just going to have to see if this is some type of reversal point, guys. That's the main thing that I'm looking for right now. But like I've talked to you about, overall, I'm not your financial advisor. If you are a long-term investor and you see Litecoin at $55, guys, I think that is a great opportunity. We are in some oversold territory right there, and that's when you want to be buying. You don't want to be buying when you're up here, if that makes sense, if you're long-term. Now, if you're a trader, guys, you want to wait for that confirmation and start to see the trend change, because we're not there yet. Right now, it would kind of be guessing, almost, am I going to catch falling knives, or is this going to be the bottom? Because you can always get lucky and pinpoint the bottom, but a lot of times you're going to get your hands cut, and that's trying to catch falling knives. So guys, that's what I want to bring to you here. You let me know down low what you think. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Have a wonderful Saturday night. Go out. If you're going out, have fun, guys. Be safe. Take care, my friends. God bless.